Tuloy ngayon ang pagdinig ng Senado hinggil sa umano'y maanumalyang mga proyekto sa Makati City. Panoorin po natin ito.
The Department of Agrarian Reform. Attorney Darlene Marie Berberabe, President and Chief Executive Officer of Pag-ibig. And from COA, Director Joseph Anacay, who is assigned with the BSP. And Ms. Resurrección Cueta, from the COA also but assigned in Pag-ibig. And we have former Vice Mayor Mr. Ernesto Mercado, Engineer Mario Echanova, former department head in the city government of Makati, Attorney Renato Bondal, and Mr. Nicolas Ching Enciso the sixth. And from Alpha Land, J. Sanggalang, and representing Mr. Roberto Ongpin, Attorney Rodolfo Ponferrada. And Mr. Gilberto Garcia from Noble Care. Correct? Yes.
Personalities appearing for the first time before the committee. Attorney, andito rin? Abogado, even the counsel of Mr. Delfin Lee, please, for the record.
Counsels of Mr. Delfin Lee is their attorneys Willie Rivera, here, and Ronnie Garay. Attorneys Garay and Attorney...
Are you making a presentation, Attorney Garay? No. Is Attorney Rivera here? Can we call him now to join us and then? Sige, those who are appearing for the first time, can we ask Director General Kimbo to administer the oath to these personalities? Thank you.
Those are here for the first time, kindly stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seat. Director Anacay. First time? Ano?
Yes.
Si Resurrección Cueta. Miss Cueta.
Resurrection.
I think she... Mr. Thank you. Mr. Cueta, are you appearing for the first time? Kindly raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seat.
Okay, just a gentle reminder to everyone. We are jointly hearing two proposed Senate resolutions, so don't be surprised and don't be confused if we jump from 826, which is a different subject matter, and we jump to 1114, which is a different subject matter. So we will take advantage first of the presence of our DAR Secretary, Virgilio de los Reyes, who is here. We will listen to what he has to report to this subcommittee, and then if there are no more questions to be directed at the Secretary, we will allow him to go. Okay? So, okay, Senator Trillanes, okay, so Secretary de los Reyes, please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Your Honors. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. There are 6 barangays involved in this particular inquiry which you ask your department to investigate. There are a total of 349 agrarian reform beneficiaries in the 6 barangays. I'm referring to the 6 barangays, Your Honor, because it's the universe of the area which is around the Sunchamp property. Of the 349, your department interviewed 91, and 91 persons appeared. 111 appeared through their representative. 147 agrarian reform beneficiaries failed to attend the ocular investigation. We visited 107 land holdings. Of these totals, Your Honors, 70 ARBs covering 70 land holdings stated that they had sold their properties, but they did not give us any copies of the documents which would signify that they actually sold this. 6 of them signified that they had leased the property. Your department went to the Register of Deeds, and we found out that there is no registration of any sale whatsoever, and the CLOAs that were given in these 6 barangays are all active and are current on file with the Register of Deeds. which means, Your Honors, that of the 349, we are continuing the investigation, but for those who have said that they have sold the property and they are not in possession anymore, the next step for the department, particularly the provincial office, would be to file cancellation cases against agrarian reform beneficiaries who have abandoned their land, or if they had sold the land, they had not sought the clearance of the Department of Agrarian Reform. So cancellation cases will be filed against the ARBs who have abandoned or sold the land without the permission of the department. The current rules, Your Honor, states that even if the land has been given to the Agrarian Reform beneficiaries beyond 10 years, they will still need to require clearance from the department, and they will have to continue to cultivate it. Of course, there are also some situations which is subject to proof given by these beneficiaries. If the reason why they had abandoned or sold the land or transferred the land are for justifiable reasons, and the justifiable reasons, Your Honors, are normally in cases of succession. And this is something that they will have to prove. But in the process of the investigation, they did not give any documents. Now, focusing on the properties which are within the boundaries of Sunchamp, we found 17 CLOAs within the properties of Sunchamp, and we plotted the technical descriptions of the CLOAs which are on file with the department and overlaid this with the map of the cadastral map of the areas, particularly the 6 barangays. These are the names of the people whose properties are found within the Sunchamp are the Comia family, the Dueñas family, the Baloloys, and the Desfi families. We also required them to come forward. Only Mr. Comia came, and then later on his lawyer came, and then this is the subject of an investigation right now. What you found out is that in particular the case of Dueñas, this was originally a 15-hectare property, and prior to coverage by CARP, 5 hectares of these 15 hectares more or less was sold to AgriFortuna Incorporated, and therefore the only one that was covered under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program was 10 hectares. So before we even covered the land, that had already been sold. And the 10 hectares was transferred again to by way of voluntary land transfer to members of the Dueñas family, and this particular property is the ones within Sunchamp. So there are 2 cases that we're really looking at. The cancellation cases refers to the cause of action arising from abandonment or sales without permission from the Department of Agrarian Reform. The second one that we're looking at is within the Sunchamp property are properties which have been transformed into non-agricultural uses, for which there is a possibility of premature conversion or illegal conversion. What we are doing right now, Your Honors, is that we're coordinating with the provincial prosecutor, because this case will be filed before the Provincial Prosecution Office of Batangas, after which a case for illegal or premature conversion is going to be filed. We are not going to wait. We have given them chances to come before us. There is another hearing, I think, on April 24 and 30. And the subject of the hearing will be furnished to the councils, because right now many of these ARBs are appearing through councils. And after that hearing, then we will file the appropriate cases with before the Department of Justice or before my office if the provincial officer deems it proper to do so.
Senator Trillanes?
Secretary De Los Reyes, you mentioned about these CLOA recipients who are being investigated. Can you furnish us the names of these recipients, particularly those whose properties are within the boundaries of the Hacienda Binay? Secretary De Los Reyes, please.
Yes, we can furnish you copies of those who appear within the Sunchamp. With the names of the others within the 6 barangays is a public record, and we will also furnish you these names.
Okay. We would appreciate that, at ang plano po natin dyan, papatawag po natin itong mga taong ito, at hindi pa pwede yung mga abogado ang harap. At malalaman natin kung sino talaga ang bumili sa kanila nung kanilang mga lupa. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
We shall, Your Honor.
Secretary, you said that the remedy of the government is the cancellation of the CLOA.
Yes, sir, because
Because-
they have been abandoned or sold
Yes,
without.
because as far as we are concerned, when we check the RD, Register of Deeds, the CLOAs are still active, sabi mo. So what if in fact a CLOA has been sold, in fact, but not transferred? So can the buyer object to the cancellation of the CLOA?
Because if there is no record that he has actually bought it, then he would have no personality to contest it. Now, the situation that may arise is that there was an actual sale, but they did not register it. Then he will have to enter his appearance and say why the CLOA should not be cancelled.
Well, anyway, at any rate, if they sleep on their, let us say, on their remedy, allow the cancellation, what will now happen to the land?
Well, that would mean, Your Honors, that the land will revert back to the Republic of the Philippines. The strange thing in these 6 barangays, Your Honors, is that these are all by way of voluntary land transfer. Unlike a compulsory acquisition, the usual case in CARP, in compulsory acquisition, is landowner's title gets transferred to the Republic of the Philippines, then it gets transferred to the Agayan Reform beneficiary. In the case of a voluntary land transfer, it is landowner direct to the beneficiary. So that if we cancel that CLOA, that particular title should go now to the Republic of the Philippines, just following a compulsory acquisition. The other unique thing, Your Honors, about Rosario, Batangas, and practically all the entire eastern Batangas, is that there are very few large land holdings in eastern Batangas, unlike in the other part of Batangas where I come from, which is western Batangas. So the mode of transfer in eastern Batangas is mostly by way of voluntary land transfer. And that is why, for the information of the committee, Your Honors, as a rule now in the department, we are validating all voluntary land transfers, not only in eastern Batangas, but also in other parts of the country to determine whether the beneficiaries are in fact the real beneficiaries who should have gotten this particular land holdings.
What sudden realization did you arrive at, Secretary? There's a loophole in a voluntary land transfer.
Well, if you recall, Your Honors, in 2009, when this August body passed the CARPER, they restricted the availment already of the voluntary land transfer. Precisely because there were many situations where the voluntary land transfer actually went to the heirs of the original landowner. So this gap was closed in 2009. But what we have also found in many situations, for those that have been distributed, is that this is precisely what happened. There is no problem when there are no tenants or workers in a particular parcel of land. But in some situations, there is a tenant, there is a farm worker, and by way of the voluntary land transfer, these were transferred to the heirs of the original owner. And that is what we are trying to determine now and plug and possibly remedy. And we will go back to this August body honored for whatever possibilities there can be.
Because in a voluntary land transfer, who paid the original owner for his land?
The beneficiary owner, it was a direct payment
Direct payment from the...
from the beneficiary himself or herself.
Okay, so in effect, naiwasan lang ang transfer ng lupa sa intended beneficiary under the law.
Yes, sir. Kung may tenant po o worker, hindi siya nabigyan. At ang natipid ho ng original owner ay yung estate tax, transfer tax, doc stamps.
Okay, Secretary De Los Reyes, thank you very much for your report. But we will await your future reports on the same subject matter, please.
We shall furnish this August body a copy of our report and the names of these people that were already investigated.
Thank you, sir. Your excuse,
Thank you, sir.
Secretary. Thank you. Thank you for attending our hearing. Thank you, Secretary. Before we recognize the lawyers of Mr. Delphine Lee, because we were expecting his personal his presence this morning, no, and there was a development over the weekend or last Friday, which disallowed his appearance before this committee. With the permission of Senator Trillanes, in the last hearing, kasi I promised Attorney Ponferrada, Pañero, di ba? I promise you that early in the next hearing, we will allow you to make your presentation. Okay, although Attorney Ponferrada is a lawyer and our rules say that lawyers are not allowed to argue and to speak in the investigations, he clarified that he has a particular position, right? You're holding a particular position in Alpha Land.
Yes, Your Honor. I am the Corporate Secretary of Alpha Land Corporation, Your Honor.
Okay, and he's testifying in his capacity as corporate secretary, not as advocate or counsel for the personalities involved. Is that correct, Attorney Ponferrada?
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct.
So, if you're ready with your presentation, I want to fulfill my promise to you.
Yes, sir. We're ready. We gave it to your Secretariat, Your Honor.
But before you proceed, why are Mr. Ong Pin and Attorney Oreta not here this morning?
If I may be allowed, Your Honor, I can read the letter that Mr. Ong Pin asked me to write the Director General, Your Honor. So I can read it for the record.
He wrote another letter for today?
Yes, Your
Sige,
Honor.
please.
Dated April 7, 2015, Dear Director General Kimbo, we received your letter of 6 April 2015 on the same day requesting the presence of Mr. Roberto Ongpin during the 17th public hearing of the Senate Blue Ribbon Subcommittee regarding proposed Senate Resolution numbers 826 and 1114 scheduled on April 13, 2015 at 10 o'clock in the morning. Regrettably, Mr. Ongpin has a long-standing appointment to be in Hong Kong and Singapore for the week of April 13th for a series of important business meetings. Therefore, he will be unable to attend the hearing scheduled on April 13th. He has therefore asked the undersigned Corporate Secretary of Alpha Land Corporation to attend the hearing on his behalf. He also requests if the undersigned can be given the opportunity to make a PowerPoint presentation on Alpha Land's position, which he was unable to do so during the last hearing on March 12, 2015. Sincerely, it's from me.
But instead of us guessing his availability, can you tell us when he will be available? Or can you ask him when he will be available and make a firm commitment of his availability? Naghuhulaan tayo eh. Tapos sabi niya, mali hula ninyo, wala ako sa bansa. O di maghuhula na naman kami.
I will ask Your Honor and get back to Your Honor. I also have the letter from Mr. Oreta, sir, if you'd like.
Sige, what's wrong with Mr. Oreta?
To address to the Honorable Chairman of the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee, dated April 8, 2015, through the Director General, Attorney Rodolfo Noel S. Kimbo. Sir, my office received your letter dated April 6, 2015 on the same date, requesting my presence for the above referenced public hearing, the 17th public hearing on proposed Senate Resolution numbers 826 and 1114. I am presently abroad, having departed for the United States last March 29, 2015 for urgent medical attention and examination. Regrettably, I will not be back in time for the hearing. As I have mentioned in my letter of March 9, 2015, I have already attended 2 previous hearings on the matter where I answered all questions propounded on me. I reiterate my offer to answer any other query in writing. Thank you very much. Respectfully yours, Mario A. Oreta.
Okay, if the senators will agree to send in writing, but if he's subpoenaed, he must attend. So we ask the same questions about the availability of Attorney Oreta.
We will relay, Your Honor.
Okay, so if we are ready, this is now the explanation of Alpha Land, no, on the BSP joint venture.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige pa. Okay, so we're not yet ready, Pañero. So okay, so I will remember to give you time before we suspend our hearing. So okay, so what happened to Mr. Delphine Lee? I was given the information that he would attend our hearing this morning to testify and to give inputs on proposed Senate Resolution number 1114. Attorney Rivera.
Magandang umaga po sa kagalang-galang pong Senador Aquilino Coco Pimentel III at kay Senador Antonio Sani Trillanes de Fort po. Dapat po ang pagkakaalam po naming mga abogado a-attend po ngayon. In fact, gusto ko pong basahin yung pong order po ng kagalang-galang pong hukom ng Regional Trial Court po ng San Fernando, Pampanga na inuutos po niya noong March 20, 2015. And I would want to quote.
Don't read it anymore kasi if you read that, you have to read the latest order. Meron din siya isa pang order eh.
Opo.
I-summarize na lang natin. Ano ba?
Opo, yung pong order po niya ng March 5, pinapayagan po niya si Mr. Delphin Lee na umattend po sa hearing ninyo dahil sa sulat po ng kagalang-galang pong Senator Trillanes at dahil po may en banc resolution po ang Supreme Court. At para po umattend sa subcommittee hearing po. At nabigla po kami kasi po nagkaroon po ng hearing ng Biyernes, nakaraang Biyernes po. At ang sabi po ng warden sa amin, naglabas po ng order po ang si Judge Reyes at natatanggap po nila ng alas 7 po ng gabi sa bilangguan po ng Provincial Jail ng San Fernando, Pampanga na binabawi po. Ang sa amin po, we were hoping that the motion for reconsideration of the Department of Justice, dapat po binigyan po ng kopya ang OCP po ang mga senador para po ma-justify po bakit kailangan po si Mr. Lee dito po. Ngunit ang nilagay pong rason, yung pong hindi ko po pagpunta. Hindi po ako ang nag-motion po na para po umattend po si Delphin Lee. Sa tingin ko po wala pong dahilan na ako po yung gawing dahilan sa hindi po pagpunta po ni Mr. Lee.
Okay, pero in effect, merong order po si Judge na in the meantime, hindi daw muna niya papayagan ang kliyente ninyo, si Mr. Delphin Lee, na pumunta rito.
Opo.
Okay. So actually nabasa ko na rin yung order. It's not a final denial na hindi siya pwede ever. Sinabi lang wag muna sa April 13. Tama?
Opo.
Tama. Okay, sige po. But because of the sudden turn of events, although generally speaking a lawyer is not allowed to argue before the Blue Ribbon Committee, no? On behalf of your client, Mr. Delphin Lee, are you going to make a presentation?
Opo, kung pwede po sana, i-clear ko na lang po yung pong mahaba po niyang opening statement.
Okay.
Kung papayagan po.
Kaya nga, tinatanong ko kasi si Attorney Ponferrada muna for Alpha Land, no?
Opo.
Then after that presentation, ikaw na because you're going to make a presentation.
Opo, an opening statement po na iniksiyan ko po.
Opo.
At pagkatapos po yung sinumpang salaysay po niya na sinumpaan po niya na isang pahina lang po ng isa pong sinumpang salaysay na tinagalog na po niya.
Pero lahat po ito galing kay Mr. Lee.
Pirmado po at bibigyan ko po ng kopya ang Senado po.
So parang ano ka lang, parang binabasa mo lang, no? He's the one he's the one speaking before us. Binabasa mo lang.
Opo.
Okay, sige po. Okay, so Senator Trillanes.
Mr. Chairman, itatanong ko lang kay Attorney Rivera. But even if ikaw ay representative lang ni Mr. Delphin Lee, but would you be competent enough to answer some of the questions related to the case of Mr. Lee?
Opo, kung patungkol po doon sa civil case na isinampa po namin sa Makati na nanalo po kami, na sinangayunan po ng Court of Appeals, na ang nagapila po ang Pag-ibig, at ang doon naman po sa criminal case na nag-apila po ang DOJ, may personal po akong kaalaman doon.
Okay. Ito bang judge ng nagbigay ng ruling dito sa Pampanga, ang information ko, pairing judge din siya sa Makati. Is that correct?
Opo, ang huli pong motion po namin na nakikiusap po kami na ibigay na po niya sa ibang judge ay dahil po napag-alaman po namin na tumatanggap po siya ng allowance sa Makati dahil po siya isang pairing judge at may ginagamit po siyang coaching Innova na bigay din po ng syudad po ng Makati. Kaya nakikiusap po sana kami dahil nagdududa po ang akusado na baka po maimpluwensyahan po siyang sobra at hindi po magkaroon po ng tamang hustisya po ang kliyente po namin.
So, at least maliwanag sa akin yon at sa mga babae natin kung ba't nagkaganito yan. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Bago natin iwanan yung topic na yun, ano siya, hindi siya pairing judge kasi hindi yata pwede maging pairing judge.
Opo, tama
ano
po.
siya, anong,
Assigned din po siya sa Makati.
in what capacity ba yun sa
As
pagkakaalam mo?
judge po ng isa pong regional trial court po doon.
So may vacancy sa Makati.
Opo.
So in effect, Pampanga RTC, in the meantime, during the vacancy, nag-assist siya ron.
Opo, kaya po minsan, nilagay po naming rason din, nagagamit po yung pong sasakyan ng Makati sa pagpunta po sa Pampanga.
Okay, sige po. Although, at the same time, sinabi mo na may kaso kayo sa Makati na pinanalo ninyo.
Opo.
Opo, so...
Buti naman po sa iba pong maestrado.
Opo, kaya nga. So, yung kaso nyo pinanalo, sa Makati din po yun. Klaro yun, sinabi nyo.
Opo.
Sige, babalik po tayo sa 1114 sa alleged pag-ibig anomalies through Delphine Lee and counsel. Balik tayo ngayon sa 1114 on alleged BSP anomalies. We will hear the side of Attorney Ponferrada for and on behalf of Alpha Land. Sige. Go ahead, Panyero.
Maraming salamat po, kagalang-galang Senador, sa pagkakataong binigay niyo sa Alpha Land para bigyang linaw yung samot-saring issue na lumabas sa mga pahayagan tungkol sa joint venture ng Boy Scouts at ng Alpha Land. Ang una-una pong binibintang sa Alpha Land ay, the Alpha Land Boy Scouts transaction over the Mulugay property is anomalous and irregular. The deal is disadvantageous to the Boy Scouts. Ang katotohanan po ay, there is nothing anomalous or irregular about this deal between Alpha Land and the Boy Scouts. No matter what anybody says, this is the simple and true fact, which both Alpha Land and the Boy Scouts clearly affirmed publicly during the Senate hearings. This Alpha Land Boy Scouts deal to develop the 1-hectare property of the Boy Scouts at the corner of Malugay Street and Ayala Avenue extension into the Alpha Land Makati Place project is simply one of the best, if not the best deals that the Boy Scouts has ever made. From an initial value of 600 million pesos in 2008, the investment of the Boy Scouts has appreciated in value to more than 3 billion in 2015, or more than 5 times its original investment in just 7 years. This translates to an annual rate of return of 26%. Ang pangalawa pong aligasyon ay the Boy Scout share is not worth 3 billion. Ang katotohanan po, Mr. Ongpin and Mr. Oreta explained during the February 18th hearing that the 3 billion value of the 15% share of the Boy Scouts investment in the Alpha Land Makati Place project consists of 3 components: the 5-story basement parking, the 6-story podium, and the 3 residential towers. For the basement parking, the Boy Scouts will have 15% of the 1,000 parking slots or 150 parking slots, which are selling for more than 1 million pesos each, or a total value of 150 million pesos. For the podium, the 15% share of the Boy Scouts is the entire 3rd floor, measuring 6,161 square meters. This floor has been independently appraised at 200,000 pesos per square meter and thus has a total value of 1.23 billion pesos. For the 3 residential towers, the Boy Scouts will have 9,208 square meters out of the total net sellable area. The residential units are currently selling for 200,000 pesos per square meter, or a total value of 1.84 billion pesos for the Boy Scouts. If you sum these all up, that is more than 3 billion pesos. Ang sunod pong paratang ay, the Boy Scouts should have gotten at least a 20% share and not just 15% share, since for land development deals, the standard sharing is 80-20. Ang katotohanan po, there is no such thing as a standard 80-20 sharing in property deals. One can check with all the developers out there, SM, Mega World, and Ayala Land, just to name a few. The sharing ranges anywhere from 50-50 to 95-5. It all depends on the values that each joint venture partner is contributing to the project. In this case, the Boy Scouts contributed its 60% share in the Mulugay property valued at 600 million pesos, while Alpha Land contributed the remaining 40% of the property, or 400 million pesos, plus the entire construction costs, then estimated at 4 billion pesos. Thus, out of a total 5 billion pesos project cost, the 600 million pesos contribution of the Boy Scouts should only have entitled them to a 12% share. It was because of the skillful and astute negotiating of Vice Mayor Mercado that Alphaland agreed to an 85-15 sharing scheme. In fact, today, the total project cost has increased from 5 billion pesos to 8 billion pesos. So the 600 million peso investment of the Boy Scouts should only be equivalent to a 7.5% share. Regardless of this fact, the share of the Boy Scouts has been maintained at 15%. Contrary to what Vice Mayor Mercado has falsely testified before the Senate, the 15% share of the Boy Scouts has never been reduced. Ang sunod pong sinasabi ay, allegation, the Boy Scouts should have bidded out the property. Ang katotohanan po, this point has been grossly misunderstood. This property has been with the Boy Scouts since 1976. Alphaland only entered the picture in 2008. You can ask the Boy Scouts and they will tell you that they, together with Sime Darby, who was their co-owner then, had been trying to bid out the property before Alphaland entered the picture. In fact, former Boy Scouts National President and Bulacan Governor Roberto Pagdanganan himself testified to this fact during the last March 12 Senate hearing. According to Governor Pagdanganan, there were several attempts to sell or bid out the property, but unfortunately, no bid succeeded. In 2008, Alphaland bought Sime Darby's 40% share for 400 million pesos in cash as the entire property, the land, the improvements, and the leasehold rights up to 2026 was valued at 1 billion pesos. Also, as testified by Governor Pagdanganan, this valuation is higher than the highest valuation that the Boy Scouts received at that time, which was around 954 million from 3 reputable appraisers, Asian Appraisal, Colliers, and Cuervo. There was no bidding when Alphaland entered into the joint venture contract simply because there was no requirement to do so. The Boy Scouts was only declared a GOCC in 2012. Thus, in 2008, it could not have been reasonably expected to follow government rules on procurement. But the more important reason why the Boy Scouts could not bid out the property to another developer is that it had a co-owner of the property, that is Alphaland. Any bidding would have to have the consent of Alphaland. By the same token, Alphaland could not bid out the property. Any bidding would need the consent of the Boy Scouts. Furthermore, since 2008, Alphaland has been offering to buy the share of the Boy Scouts at the prevailing market price. The last offer was 1 billion pesos made in 2013. But the offer was rejected as the Boy Scouts decided, and wisely so, that they would rather have a share of the upside. They were smart to do this as there was no downside but only an upside, as Alphaland guaranteed them at least a 600 million peso return. Next allegation, the Boy Scouts have got nothing from the project to date. The truth, the actual fact. This is incorrect. The third floor of the podium, valued at 1.23 billion pesos, has already been conveyed to the Boy Scouts. And even if it was not required to do so, Alphaland has been renting a portion of the third floor since 2014. The rented area was increased in 2015. So now, Alphaland is paying the Boy Scouts more than 600,000 pesos monthly in lease rentals. To emphasize, the agreement is for the Boy Scouts to receive units and not money out of the joint venture. They should be getting square meters and not cash. Next allegation, the Boy Scouts should have taken its share of the residential units at the time of the signing of the contract. The actual fact. It is impossible to have decided on specific apartment units at the time of contract signing, as the design of the project had understandably not been complete at that time. Additionally, the Boy Scouts had no ability to market the property. More importantly, it was commercially smart for the Boy Scouts not to have cashed in earlier, as now they have benefited from the increased real estate prices. Next allegation, the Boy Scouts should just have done nothing and waited for the lease to expire in 2026. Had they done nothing, the property would supposedly be worth 4 billion pesos by now. The actual fact. First, assuming that a 4 billion peso valuation for the property is correct, the Boy Scouts would only be entitled to 60% of that, or 2.4 billion pesos. The Boy Scouts' 15% share is now worth 3 billion pesos in value from the Makati Place project. Second, it was wise for the Boy Scouts to have unlocked the value of the property in 2008, instead of just getting a pittance, a maximum of 140 pesos per year for the entire 1 hectare in rentals for the property as provided in the deed of donation and lease back. Next allegation, Mr. Oreta committed tax evasion and tax fraud. The actual fact. The proper taxes have been correctly paid and there is a tax clearance proving it. There was no tax evasion or tax fraud, contrary to what was claimed during the Senate hearings. In 2010, when Mr. Oreta converted his 5% stake in the Makati Place project to shares of Alphaland, he was advised that such conversion would result in Noble Care booking a gain which would be subjected to tax. The gain booked was 189 million pesos, for which Noble Care paid capital gains taxes of more than 18 million pesos and was issued a BIR tax clearance accordingly. Next allegation, Alpha Land did not value the shares issued to Noble Care correctly since they were issued at 10 pesos when they were trading at 62 pesos at that time. The actual fact. The 62 peso trading price for November 11, 2010 was a result of very thin trading volumes. For that period, the daily trading average was below 500 shares or a daily trading value of less than 30,000 pesos. Moreover, there is nothing wrong with valuing the issue price of the shares at 10 pesos per share. It was an original subscription from previously unissued shares, and Alpha Land has been issuing shares at 10 pesos since 2009 and not a peso more. Some 1.8 billion shares were issued to Ashmore, to Mr. Ongpin, to Mr. Delfin Wenceslao, and to Mr. Oreta, all at 10 pesos per share. Alpha Land has never issued a primary share at a price above 10 pesos to date. More importantly, when the shares were issued in 2010, they were not yet listed. The PSC only had the shares listed in 2013, and they could only have been traded at the exchange then. Next allegation. If the Boy Scouts did wonderfully in this deal, then how come it is being subjected to investigation? The actual fact. It is also mystifying to Alpha Land. As a matter of fact, Mr. Ongpin said during the hearing on February 18 that Vice Mayor Mercado should be congratulated for negotiating, signing, and closing this wonderful deal for the Boy Scouts. However, instead of being proud of this deal, Vice Mayor Mercado is maligning and criticizing this deal, which he negotiated from beginning to end and which he signed and consummated on behalf of the Boy Scouts for one specific purpose, his ongoing vendetta against Vice President Jejomar Binay. Next allegation, the Vice President has a 5% share in the deal. The actual fact. As Mr.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to interject. Hindi ko papalagpasin yung point na yun, ano? Dahil yung previous statement mo, sinabi mo, yung kay Vice Mayor Mercado should be congratulated, ano? For negotiating this deal up to the end. Pero di ba may amendment nga eh? Ang kini-question natin dito yung amendment dun sa original na negotiation na ginawa ninyo with Mr. Abisado. So, ano yan eh, even your presentation, attorney, may deception eh. Okay? Tapos hindi mo mini-mention dito. Ang kini-question natin dito, assuming maayos itong deal na to with Boy Scouts, pero bakit bibigyan ng komisyon si Vice President Binay? So, yun pa rin, ano, true Noble Care. Yun, hindi na address yun. Ginogloss over mo yun. So, don't give us your propaganda here in these proceedings, ano? So, I will interject every time makakita ako.
I may be allowed to respond, Your Honor. On the first...
Hindi na. Mag-continue ka na lang ng presentation mo, please.
Okay.
We're about to actually respond
Anyway,
because of the you're
point-
talking about 5%.
Yes, sir. The second
Okay
point
na,
will be
yeah.
addressed by the next allegation. On the first point, Your Honor, the amendment did nothing to change the 85-15 sharing scheme. The spirit and of the deal between the Boy Scouts and Alpha Land still remains the same. It's an 85-15 joint venture to develop the Makati Place project. So there was no change even by this formal amendment. And you're correct, Mr. Chairman.
I'll have questions later on the 85-15.
Yes, Your Honor. And
go
to
ahead.
address the second point, Your Honor, the next allegation is that the Vice President has a 5% share in the deal. And the actual fact is, as testified by Mr. Ongpin during the Senate hearing, it is Mr. Oreta who has a 5% carried interest in the Makati Place project. A carried interest can be implemented several ways, and the most tax and cost-efficient way to do it was to allow Mr. Oreta to invest in the project at par value in 2008. To stress, Mr. Oreta had a carried interest. It's not compensation, it is not a stock option, it is not a fringe benefit. Then, in 2010, it was agreed that Mr. Oreta would convert his stake in the Makati Place project into shares of stock in Alpha Land Corporation since he is the president of Alpha Land. Mr. Mercado maliciously alleges that a 5% carried interest of Noble Care was transferred to Vice President Binay. This is completely false. For the record, Noble Care Management Corporation is Mr. Oreta's company. He co-owns it with two other persons who have been his business partners for a long time. Neither Vice President Binay nor any other person has an interest in the company. Since 2005 up to now, only Mr. Oreta and his two partners have beneficially owned Noble Care, and they own all its assets, including the 8.9 million Alphaland shares it received for the Makati Place project. Then and now, Noble Care has owned the shares. They have never been sold or transferred to anybody, much less Vice President Binay, as Mr. Mercado has wrongfully and baselessly alleged. At this point, we reiterate that for his baseless and irresponsible allegations, Alphaland filed a 100 million peso damage suit against Mr. Mercado, in addition to the criminal libel cases filed against him by Mr. Ongpin and Mr. Oreta. Next allegation, Vice Mayor Mercado says that the kickback that the Vice President got through Mr. Oreta amounted to more than 655 million pesos. The actual fact. First, there was no kickback to Vice President Binay or to any other person. Second, that computation is wrong and is a complete fallacy. It is based on a computation multiplying 8.9 million shares of Alphaland with 62 pesos per share, the trading price on November 11, 2010. Those 8.9 million Alphaland shares were only listed in 2013. In 2010, Noble Care could not have sold them, even if it wanted to do so, and even if there were willing buyers on the exchange for those shares. The last allegation, Mr. Oreta was asked to waive the bank secrecy law for Noble Care's bank account. He refused. Why? The actual fact. One cannot blame Mr. Oreta for refusing. Why should he waive his rights under the law when there was not one iota of supporting evidence of any wrongdoing? Had there been credible supporting evidence, it is reasonable to believe that Mr. Oreta would be happy to waive the secrecy of that particular account of Noble Care. He did nothing wrong and he has nothing to hide. But simply put, it is only proper that no one should be forced to waive any legal right just because of unfounded allegations from a self-confessed plunderer. Maraming salamat po, kagalang-galang na Senador, sa pagkakataong ito.
Okay, Attorney, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Trillanes.
Attorney Ponferrada, it is obvious that Mr. Oreta has decided to hang with this, along with his principal, the Vice President. So, ganito ang mangyayari dyan. They're holding on to that possibility that the Vice President would eventually become President. Pero, kung pagpapalain tayo ng Diyos at hindi mangyari yan, believe me, mauuna pa yan si Mr. Babes Oreta na mag-apply to become state witness. At mag-iiwanan yan sa ere. Ganyan yan. Ganyan yung kalakaran. I've seen that before. Kay President Erap, ginawa na yan. Kay GMA, ginawa yan. And it will happen again to the Vice President. Pero, ahadlangan ko yan hanggang sa kaya ko. So, he was given a way out, a decent and a noble way out. But he decided to align with the crooks. So, then, so be it. Ganun na lang yan, Attorney Ponferrada.
Panyero, I have a question sa 8515, no?
Your Honor.
Hindi ako negosyante, wala rin naman akong mga land holdings na ganyan na pwedeng i-joint venture na ganyan. Pero yung mathematics ninyo simple, tama. Yung sharing should be based on your contribution to the project. Tama.
Correct, Your Honor.
Correct. And then, from your point of view, the contribution of the BSP, your joint venture partner, is worth 600 million pesos. Tama.
From our point of view and the BSP's point of view, Your Honor.
Yes, so 600 million pesos.
Yes,
Tama.
Your Honor.
Which was 60% of that 1 hectare property.
Correct, Your Honor.
Now, sabi ng presentation mo, because the total project cost at the time you were contracting was
The estimated total, Your Honor, was 5 billion pesos, Your Honor.
5 million?
5 billion pesos.
5 billion?
Yes, Your Honor. It's inclusive of the 1 billion cost of the land and the 4 billion estimated cost for the construction, Your Honor.
So how do you compute the percentage?
So,
Kung ganyan.
sir, the total, ang suma total po ng project cost would be 5 billion. So since ang contribution po ng Boy Scouts ay 600 million, so 600 million divided by 5 billion, ang lalabas pong quotient ay 12% po. Pero dahil po sa maiging pakikipagnegosasyon po ni Vice Mayor Mercado noon,
Okay.
napapayag po ang Alphaland na sa 15% po.
Right. Because, okay, kung iti-table na lang natin, no, na sa column sa kaliwa is BSP's contribution, sa kanan, Alphaland's contribution. Sa BSP, 600 million land, kayo 400 million land plus 4 billion in development cost.
Opo.
Okay,
Opo,
yun,
Your Honor.
anong proof? Anong proof dun sa, that at the time you were contracting, you estimated your development cost, which will come fully from Alpha Land
Opo, opo.
at 4 billion. Anong
Opo.
proof?
Meron pong ano po, may mga estimate pong ginawa at that time, Your Honor.
Okay, do you still have it with you?
Nasa records naman po siguro. Hanapin
Kasi alam mo bakit? Sa notes ko, nung si Mr. Ong Bin ang nag-opening statement, yung 4 billion na yun, 3 billion yun. Sa notes ko, 3 billion yun. Ngayon, kung 3 billion yun, ay 600 million versus 3 billion, di ba 1/5 yun? 20%?
Hindi, meron po akong kopya nung opening statement, Mr. Ong Pin po. Hindi naman po, hanapin ko po.
That's why, hindi. Kaya nga, let us
4 billion din
let
po.
us look at the documents.
Sige po.
Hindi, kaya nga 4 billion yun eh. 4 billion. Pero ima-minus mo yung 1 billion na lupa eh.
Ay, hindi po. Kung pamarapatin niyo po, gagala-galang Senator, babasahin ko po yung opening statement ni Mr. Ong Pin po.
Hindi, huwag na. Mauulit lang. Nasa,
Yung portion lang po na yun.
sige, please.
As the project was originally envisioned, and I quote Mr. Ong Pin during the last February 18th hearing. As the project was originally envisioned, the total construction cost would be 4 billion pesos. If the cost of the land, 1 billion pesos would be added, the total project cost would be 5 billion pesos.
This in his opening statement.
Opo.
So we will check the TSN.
Opo.
Vice Mayor Mercado?
Alam po niyo, sir, sasagot lang ako doon dahil pinagmamalaki kasi nila. 600 million lang ang Boy Scout. Sila na lahat ang gumastos sa construction ng building. Inutang nga po nila, Mr. Senator. So, hindi po... May partisipasyon po ang Boy Scout doon sa pagkakautang kasi 60% of ang ownership po doon sa lote na inutang po nila. Therefore, dapat nga ho, maghahabol ng mas mataas na percentage ang Boy Scout dahil inutang po yun sa bangko eh. So yun ho yung sinasabi ko na nagisa sa sariling
Collateral ang lupa.
Collateral po ang lupa. Kung hindi po ikinolateral ang lupa, tama po lahat ang magiging claim ni Attorney Pampirada. Pangalawa, Mr. President, noon hong ibenta noong 2011, maliwanag po ang agreement dyan eh. After the reclassification, idodouble yung 600 million ng BSP na hindi po nila ginawa. O dili po kaya, bago sila nagpirmahan ng sale noong 2011, pinareappraise po yung value ng lupa bago po nagkaroon ng bentahan, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
Mari po sumagot.
tama po yun, Atty. Pampirada. In a situation like this, na inutang din ninyo pala yung lupa na contribution ng BSP, don't you change the formula?
Hindi po, Mr. Senator, kung maaari po kaming sagutin yun. Yung sa unang puntos po, yung utang po ay utang ng Alpha Land. Ang nagbabayad po nun Alpha Land at hindi po Boy Scouts. Ni isang kusing, wala pong
Hindi,
kukunin.
tama po yun, pero anong collateral?
Marami po. It's a whole security package including the land, including
including the land.
The project, including the land.
Including the 1 hectare land.
Kasi isa lang po yung lupa na jointly co-owned by Alpha Land and the Boy Scouts sa collateral package po. Malaki po yung collateral package. So mali pong sabihin na may bearing po yun sa sharing. Ang mahalaga po, ang Boy Scouts after contributing the 60% of the land, wala na pong ni isang peso na ina-expect from them. Everything else will be provided for and has been provided for by Alpha Land. And as mentioned earlier, the project cost has actually run higher than 4 billion pesos. The construction cost has actually run higher than 4 billion pesos, all of which were shouldered by Alpha Land. Not 1 peso was asked from the Boy Scouts, Your Honor. And on the second point, Your Honor, on the amendment in 2011, there was no agreement to double the contribution of the Boy Scouts. Any appreciation in the value of the property in 2011, the project having been started in 2008, should accrue to both partners, and they have accrued to both partners, Your Honor.
Vice Mayor, wala naman tayong mapakitang addendum or kasulatan na agreement na i-double. Wala tayo.
Wala po tayo.
Verbal lang, verbal.
Dahil nag-usap lang naman po ng verbal dyan eh.
Sino
At
po? Sino po?
Ang matibay po dyan, kami po ni Atty. Ureta,
Okay.
dahil ang matibay ko pong pinagbabasihan dyan, yung sa reclassification. Tinestify na rin po naman dito no, kung ang isang ordinaryong lupa, ang presyo ngayon ay 1,000 per square meter, na ang kanyang use is industrial. Once na i-reclassify po ninyo yan na maging commercial, may nag-testify naman na po rito na talagang yan ay magdodouble. Yun ho ang aking sinasabi.
Okay na po yun. Pero yung agreement ba? Yan lang. Wala naman. Hindi yun.
Wala pong written agreement.
Pero sige.
Doon lang, Your Honor, doon lang sa reclassification, Your Honor. Kami rin po ay namamangha kung saan po nanggaling yung issue ng reclassification. Kasi sa liksik po namin sa records, noong 2008 po, commercial na po ang touring sa property na ito po. So yung pagbalor sa kanya ng 1 billion pesos noong 2008, it already took into consideration the fact that it was already for commercial purposes, Your Honor.
Iba to. This is the formula of may ordinance sila on how many square meters you can construct per square meter of land. Yun ang binago yata nila.
That happened in 2008, Your Honor. It happened in 2012. And that benefit accrued to both parties, and that benefit was not because...
Yes. No, that's a point. That's a point. It's not really the commercial classification, but yung floor area ratio. Yun ang point ni Vice Mayor Mercado. Anyway, nasa ordinance naman yan na makikita natin. Balik ako dun sa formula. Kung yung 600 million nga ng Boy Scouts ay contribution nila sa project, because of that may percentage na sila, tama? Based on the value of your contribution.
Tama po, Mr. Senator.
Okay. Ang ginawa ninyong collateral, so ginawa pa ninyong at risk yung kanilang contribution. Posibleng mawala sa kanila yun eh. So walang consideration yun, additional percentage in the formula, in the sharing formula, because of the fact that they also are now risking their contribution.
Maganda po yung sinabi niyo, Mr. Senator, na the asset would be at risk. Precisely to mitigate that risk or to zero out that risk, the Alpha Land gave the Boy Scouts a guarantee. They will get no less than 600 million pesos from this project, Your Honor. That's why in this project, it's equal, tabla panalo kung sabihin nga sa vernacular, Your Honor. Tabla panalo ang Boy Scouts. It's either they get 600 million pesos as a minimum or they get the upside of which they're getting now, Your Honor.
Yun na nga, pero yung guarantee kasi, it will only kick in if you are no longer able to pay that loan. Therefore, you're really in financial trouble. Therefore, even yung guarantee mo, hindi nyo na kaya na i-honor. So on paper, ang ganda tignan. Pero in reality nga, they are assuming a risk. Don't they deserve additional consideration or compensation or shares because of that strange deal na binibigay ko na yung lupa pero itaya mo pa rin sa utangin mo?
It's not a strange deal, Your Honor. It happens normally in transactions like this, and it's not a pie in the sky guarantee because Alpha Land then and now has many assets which can answer for this 600 million pesos. And you're correct, Your Honor. We don't foresee us defaulting on the loan, so this would be a dead letter contract because we don't see the loan from being defaulted upon, Your Honor.
Kaya nga, that's why my next point would be the loans. Have we been furnished with the loans? I'll ask the Secretariat first if the committee already has possession of the loan contracts covering the joint venture project. Wala pa. And if not, can you provide us with all of the loan contracts covering this joint venture project? Please, into the mic, sir.
There's only one loan, Your Honor, and we will furnish the committee.
Okay, furnish. And then what is the status of the loan?
It's current, Your Honor. It's currently being serviced by Alpha Land alone, not a
Yes,
peso from the Boy
klaro
Scouts.
naman yun. Alpha
Yes,
Land
sir.
alone. And
Yes,
alam ninyo yun, di ba,
Yes,
right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alam ninyo
Yes,
yun,
sir.
inyo lahat yun, basta kanila, yung 600
Yes, sir.
million, and then you say, because of that, 15% ang share nila.
Yes, Your Honor.
Senator Trillanes?
Attorney, yung sinabi mo, parang ang maganda in paper, parang nanalo sa loto yung Boy Scouts dahil dito sa transaksyon na to. But the fact remains that the only time na nagbigay kayo ng pera in the amount of around 14 million pesos was after the hearing dito. Before that, ni isang kusing, wala kayong ibinibigay sa Boy Scouts except dun sa kickback ni Vice President Binay. So yun eh. Alam nyo, alam naman natin kung ano yung totoo rito. Siyempre, you need to cover legally. Pero darating tayo dyan. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, I look forward to the day na mag-a-apply ng state witness. Yan si Mr. Babes Oreta. Mr. Chairman, anyway, we'll be rescheduling a meeting for these Boy Scouts and we expect Mr. Bobby Ungpin and Mr. Babes Oreta to be present. So they should be ready, and because Senator Sergius Mena also requested that this hearing be rescheduled once he becomes available, Mr. Chairman.
That's why I have a pending request to address to Attorney Ponferrada to ask Mr. Ongpin, Attorney Oreta, their available dates. Okay, so
Kung pwede lang mabigyan linaw yung binanggit po ni Kagalang-Galang Senador Trillanes. Your Honor, hindi naman po parang, dahil totoo naman pong may nakukuha na po yung Boy Scouts. At tama po kayo, yung pera, yung may natanggap nilang pera, kamakailan lang. Pero kasi po, ang obligasyon po ng Alpha Land sa joint venture ay huwag magbigay ng pera sa kanila po. Ay kundi magbigay po ng square meters. Yun po yung usapan, hindi po pera. Hindi po pera ang inaasahan ng
So,
Boy Scouts sa kontrata.
pakidescribe nga ngayon, ano ang nakukuha ng BSP? Kunyari, sinabi nyo na meron doon podium, in-award na ninyo. So ano yun, meron ng titulo sa pangalan ng BSP?
Under process na po yung titulo. Pero under the civil code po, may title na po. There was a deed of conveyance that serves as the civil title over the third floor. But the registered title, that's still under, that's in process, Your Honor. As in any development projects, it will come in due course. But we don't
So
see
may
anything.
deed of conveyance between Alpha Land and BSP. Alpha Land Makati Place, that's the owner, di ba? What's the owner of the project?
The joint owners of the project, Your Honor, are Alpha Land and Boy Scouts, Your Honor. So
And
there's a conveyance from the joint venture
Joint venture nga,
to
to BSP.
to the BSP.
Ah.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you will now secure what?
The condominium certificate of title
CCT
over
for
this
BSP.
third floor, Your Honor.
Okay, but
Opo.
since may loan pa, naka-annotate doon.
Yun hindi pa namin nakita, Your Honor, yung CCT. But under
Hindi,
the...
pero hindi, I mean, what's the...
The loan po is annotated on the mother title, Your
Correct.
Honor.
When you now give the CCT, naka-annotate din yung loan doon, tama?
We don't know yet, Your Honor, because we don't have the CCT yet. It's possible that pwedeng wala. Kasi normally in developments like this, if it's given to the ultimate user, ini-exempt na po sa yung annotation from the CCT po.
So released from the mortgage?
That's what we're
So
working
what-
on, Your Honor.
Saan ngayon yung mortgage? Saan na siya?
It's still annotated on the It's still annotated on the mother title of the property and will remain on properties beneficially owned by Alpha Land, Your Honor. Because it's only Alpha Land who borrowed, Your Honor.
Okay, with the consent of the creditor, ano? Kasi i-compute basta for as long as covered pa yung ano niya, yung loan, no?
The best analogy, Your Honor, I could think of is if you bought a condominium unit in the project, once you get your CCT, it should be already free from the loan. The loan would only remain for the properties belonging to the borrower, Your Honor. But the end user condominium unit buyer should get a CCT that is free and clear.
Yeah, it should be, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And yet, we still cannot say that of the BSP title kasi wala pa.
But we're working for... on
Kailan
that,
kaya
Your Honor.
lalabas yun at gusto nating makita?
We don't know, Your Honor. It's also beyond our control. But we're applying with the appropriate register of deeds, Your Honor.
You have applied. Is it past tense or future tense?
We've been working on this, sir. Normally kasi, sir, kailangan matapos muna yung buong project. But because of what has been happening, we've been trying to see if we can get separate CCTs now that even if the project is still about to be finished, Your Honor. But normally
Well,
we wait for the project.
we want to see the title issued to the BSP.
Yes, Your Honor. As soon as it's issued, we'll submit a copy.
And
to
let
the
us say
Senate.
the CCT does not mention or carry the annotation of the loan. Is it in reality really beyond the reach of the creditor? If in case something happens to the loan and there is a foreclosure on the mortgage, in reality ba yung CCT na yon ay beyond the reach na?
That should be the case, Your Honor, because that's the basis of our torrent system, Your Honor. The public should only rely on the face of the torrent's title, Your Honor, that there is no other encumbrance, Your Honor.
Okay, so, but puro theory ito pinag-usapan natin, ha? Gusto ko
Yeah,
makita
yes,
yung
yes.
reality.
Yes, Your Honor.
How soon kaya, attorney?
We're also trying to expedite-
Months pa?
I cannot really say, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, liliwanagin ko lang ano. Ang inimbestigahan natin dito ay hindi yung project ng Alpha Land. I believe it's a good project. Yung mga bumili dyan at planong bumili dyan, hindi at risk yan.
Thank you.
Wala tayong pinag-uusapan dyan, ano? Kasi we're not trying to scare away, ano. I believe maganda nga. From what I heard, yung may city club.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, it's a good project. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, yung rightful share ng BSP. Okay? At ang inimbisigan natin, yung kickback ni Vice President Binay. So it has nothing to do with the soundness of any investment dito sa Alpha Land project. At least nililiwanag natin yan.
Thank you for the clarification, Your Honor, but I hope you don't mind if I say for the record that first, we believe that the 15% share of the Boy Scouts is proper and correct. And to our knowledge and to our records, there's no such kickback to Vice President Binay or to any other public officer or individual, Your
So
Honor.
can the committee be furnished with the original computation of the project cost?
The estimated project...
Yeah, when you were still dealing and
Will-
fixing the percentage of the parties.
Yes, the estimate made by our project management team
Right,
at the time.
way back
Yes,
in 2008.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll look for it, Your Honor, and then
Apo.
submit to the Senate, Your Honor.
Okay. And then of course yung sa tax evasion sabi mo Noble Care paid 18 million out of valued 189 million anong tawag niyo doon?
Capital gains, Your Honor.
Capital gains.
Your
No,
Honor.
the capital gains tax, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because of
The 189 million was a capital gains from a capital
capital
transaction.
gains and then capital so 10% halos.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if it were income of Mr. Oreta, that should have been 32%.
If
Tama,
were,
if
Your
it were.
Honor.
Yeah, if
but-
it were.
Ang napapanood niyo po ay yung patuloy na pagdinig ng Senado hinggil sa umunoy maanumalyang mga proyekto sa Makati. Ano po, dalawa po yan, yung tinatalakay niyan, yung sa Makati, yung bagong building at yun pong dealings ng BSP at ng Alpha Land. Ang isa sa mga humarap sa pagdinig ay yung corporate secretary ng Alpha Land na si Atty. Rodolfo Ponferrada. No? At dun sa takbo ng pagdinig, giniit nito na hindi maanumalya yung joint venture ng Alpha Land at ng BSP. Sa katunayan, hindi raw lugi ang Boy Scouts of the Philippines sa nangyaring proyekto. Giniit niya na noong 2008, yung halaga ng ininvest ng Boy Scouts ay nasa 600 million at nag-2 times ito ng 5 beses noong 2015 at sa katunayan ay nasa 3 billion na raw ang worth nito. Patuloy po natin panoorin ang pagdinig.
It is not up to us to determine. It's not even for Mr. Ongpin. It will be now for the BIR. Based on the definition of income in the NIRC. Di ba? Ano yan?
Yes, Your Honor, but we reviewed this opening statement again at the transcript. It was never mentioned in the opening statement that it was compensation. It was just mentioned during one of the senators was asking about questions, and that senator introduced the concept of compensation. But if you go...
But it was mentioned nonetheless. Hayaan na natin yung BIR sumintensya doon. Hayaan na natin. Mr. Chairman, I think we'll just have to reschedule this particular portion of the hearing, which is the BSP, so that we can proceed with the other...
May we know for the record why the BSP personalities are not around this morning? Director General Kimbo, please.
Your Honor, we had sent about 8 invitations to the Boy Scouts. Only one confirmed, Mr. Roberto Pagdanganan, as of yesterday. But this morning, Mr. Pagdanganan wrote to the Blue Ribbon a letter saying that he regret not being able to attend because he is presiding a Medicines Transparency Alliance meeting with the WHO and Health Action International scheduled for the 13th and 14th of this year here in Intramuros, despite the previous confirmation. The others sent letters of excuse, like Mr. Avisado said that he will be in San Jose Antique. Mr. Lagdameo reiterated his health certificate. And then Mr. Pangilinan said that he has a series of travel missions from April 8th to 14th. And the others did not give us confirmations or letters of regret, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we will just take up again the BSP issues in a subsequent hearing. So at this point, if there are no more questions to Atty. Ponferrada and to our Noble Care representatives, maybe we can excuse them. Senator Trillanes. Okay. So thank you, Pañero. Thank you,
Thank you very
Mr.
much, sir.
Sangalang. Thank you.
Thank
And
you, Your
to
Honors.
Noble Care. Thank you. Okay, so we should proceed now to Attorney Rivera of the counsel of Mr. Delfin Lee.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So under special circumstances, we will allow you to speak because we thought your client would be here.
Opo.
Excuse me, Director Anakay is raising his hand, yes, sir?
Can he
Of
also be
COA?
excused?
COA. What is COA?
BSP.
Take it. You were called here to testify on the BSP Alpha Land, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you ready to make some contribution or inputs? May,
I would just like to inform the body that we have referred this the request of Senator Trillanes to our fraud audit office.
to your
Fraud audit office.
fraud audit office. That's all you can report for today? Wala na pong iba? Sige, so who's with you? Ikaw lang, no? Director Anakay, please. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence. Let's suspend for a minute.
Okay, pansamantala pong sinuspende ang pagdinig ng Senado o Senate Blue Ribbon Subcommittee kaugnay po ng ilang mga maanumalyang proyekto sa Makati City. Una pong tinalaka, yun pong umunoy maanumalyang venture ng BSP at ng Alpha Land. Pero nilinaw ng abogado ng Alpha Land or corporate secretary ng Alpha Land na si Rodolfo Ponferrada na wala rong maanumalya doon sa nangyaring proyekto. Sa katunayan, yung daw 600 million na investment na inilabas ng BSP noong 2008, ngayong 2015 ay nag times 5 na at kasalukuyang meron na rong value na 3 billion pesos. Sa pagdinig, question din ni Senator Trillanes at ni Senator Pimentel kung bakit nga hindi nakarating itong sina Mario, Mr. Ongpin at Mr. Oreta ng Alpha Land. At minabuti nila na ipagpatuloy na lamang yung diskusyon kaugnay nga nung itong BSP at Alpha Land investment sa oras na makakasipot na sa pagdinig sina Mr. Ongpin at si Mr. Oreta. Pero hanggang sa mga sandining ito ay hindi pa matiyak o hindi pa masabi ng panig ng Alpha Land kung kailan makakarating sina Mr. Oreta at Mr. Ongpin. Samantala, makibalita tayo, kaugnay pa rin na pagdinig dyan sa Senado. Makakasama natin sa telepono si Jam Cesante. Jam?
Yes, Oscar. Ngayon nga ay nakasuspende lang muna yung pagdinig ng Senado tungkol dun sa mga iniimbestigahan nilang anomalya na di umano'y kinasasangkutan ni Vice President Judge Omar Binay. Kanina ay nagsalita yung abogado ng Alpha Land Corporation na si Attorney Rodolfo Ponferrada at sinabi nga niya na hindi tulad sa aligasyon ni dating Makati Vice Mayor Ernesto Mercado, hindi raw irregular at hindi rin maanumalya yung land deal sa pagitan ng Boy Scouts of the Philippines at ng Alpha Land Corporation. Inulit ni Ponferrada yung mga dati nang sinabi ng mga opisyal ng Boy Scouts at ng Alpha Land na sa katunayan daw ay beneficial pa raw sa Boy Scouts yung naging kasunduan nila ng Alpha Land Corporation. Sa ngayon ay nakatakda sana or hinihintay natin na magsalita yung abogado naman na ni Globe Asiatic founder Delfin Lee na inimbitahan sana doon sa pagdinig ngayong araw pero hindi pinahintulutan na dumalo ng San Fernando Regional Trial Court. Nakatakda sana si Lee na magsalita tungkol sa nalalaman niya di umano kaya Vice President Binay tungkol sa nagpapel ni Binay bilang tagapangasiwa ng HUD o bilang housing czar. Pero hindi pinayagan ng korte si Lee kaya masasalita ngayon yung kanyang abogado para ibigay yung kanyang pahayag. So ngayon na nagpupulong pa yung mga senador para pag-usapan kung sino yung susunod nilang pagsalitain dito sa pagdinig. Oscar.
Okay, maraming salamat, Jam Cesante. At yan po ang mainit na balita sa oras ito. Tutok lang din sa GMA News TV para oras-oras. Alam mo, ako po si Oscar Oida. Magandang umaga.